kindergarten. So today we're going to be talking about objects in the sky. Last time we talked about patterns in the sky and we talked about the sun and the moon and how they come up and rise and set. That's when they go down, and what you might do while the sun is up and while the moon is up. But today we're going to be talking about objects that you may see in the sky. And for my examples, I'm going to use stars. But you could see airplanes or birds and what they actually look like in the sky versus when they are up close to you. So, when objects are far away, they look tiny. But as they get closer and closer and closer to you, they get bigger. Just like if they're really close to you, they look big, but as they go further and further and further and further away, they get tiny. So that is our perception of things. That's the way we see things. When they're close to us, they look big, but when they're away from us, they can look tiny. So if I had two objects that were the same size as my stars here, the object that is closer to you will look much bigger than the object that is further away from you because it's closer. Even though if I bring them side by side, they're actually the same size, but because of distance, it can change the way they look. So even though they're the same size, the star that gets closest to you looks much bigger than the star that's way in the back. And this is true for things in the sky and in outer space as well. The sun and the earth, they're not the same size. They are actually much different. I'm going to use my gummy bears because I don't have a sun and an earth here at home with me, but I do have some gummy bears thanks to my daughter. But the sun and the earth are both in outer space, but that doesn't mean they're the same size. The sun, my red gummy bear, is actually much, much bigger than Earth, my pink gummy bear. It's 109 times the diameter of Earth across. That means you can line up 109 Earths inside one sun. That's kind of crazy. But the sun is the closest star to Earth. So that means it looks like the biggest and brightest star out there. But it's not. There are stars even bigger than the sun in outer space. But they look really tiny because they're far away. They're not as close to us and Earth as the sun. So they look much smaller, but they're actually much, much bigger. And the same is true for the sun and the moon. The moon is much closer than the sun, so it looks much bigger to you than the sun because he's closer. But if I put the moon beside the sun, he's actually really tiny compared to our sun. That's some crazy stuff, right? But it's all in the way distance makes it appear to us. It's our perception of things. All right, guys. That is actually all I had for you guys today is distance and how well things are perceived. So things that are closer to us look much, much bigger than things that are far away from us. And things that are the same size might not look the same size if they're far apart and one is closer to us and one is further away. And something that is big, like our sun, might actually look smaller than something that's small, like our moon, when our moon is so much closer than our sun. That's really crazy the way distance can do that and mess with your eyes. So as something flies to you or comes to you, it'll get much bigger. And as it goes away, it'll get smaller. Or if I put this gummy bear much closer to you than my red gummy bear, he will look bigger than my red gummy bear because he's closer. Even though when I put them side by side, he's smaller. Alrighty, kindergarten, good job today. And I hope to be seeing you all soon. Go ahead and hop on over to take my quiz. It's only 5 questions and I know you'll do great. Bye, kindergarten.